Nakakapagod mag-aral, no? So the question is, how bad do you want it? Diba? Yun na lang talaga yun eh. Anyway, we've come this far. There's no turning back. So for this video, we will be discussing real estate mortgage. Kasi, chinek ko yung syllabus, no? We're done with mutuum, comodatum, deposit, guarantee and suretyship. So the next one is real estate mortgage. Hindi nakasama pala yung mga chattel mortgage and all. Just real estate mortgage. Because I think the reason being the next topic is Personal Property Security Act. That's just the coverage for the bar for CredTrans. So that's all that we're talking about in the interest of time. So what is real estate mortgage? Real mortgage is the mortgage directly and immediately subjects the property upon which it is imposed, whoever the possessor may be, to the fulfillment of the obligation for whose security it was constituted. So I will not go on about what the security is, because in previous videos we have already established what the security is. So requisites: the mortgage must be constituted to secure the fulfillment of the principal obligation. The mortgager must be the absolute owner of the immovable or alienable real rights that is being mortgaged. The mortgager must have free disposal of the property or is legally authorized for the purpose. So for example, pag mag-asawa kayo, diba? And it's a co-owned property or the property of the spouses. The mortgage must be subjected to the condition that when the principal obligation becomes due, the collateral may be alienated for payment to the creditor. So in case of default, ito yung security. And it must be recorded in the registry of property. However, if the instrument is not recorded, what's the effect? Still, the mortgage is binding between the parties, as between the parties lang. The good thing about having it recorded sa registry of property is that it is binding third parties then. So what are the objects of real estate mortgage? Immovables and alienable real rights over immovables. Kaya nga siya real. So real properties, real rights lang yung object nito. So Article 2127 is modified by the Personal Property Security Act, yung PPSA, yung topic natin after this video, with regard to property included in a real estate mortgage. Because under Article 2127, what does it say? That the real estate mortgage extends to natural accessions to the improvements, growing fruits, rents, or income not yet received when the principal obligation becomes due. These personal properties are no longer covered in 2127 kasi sa PPSA na to. Future property, is it covered? Can it be an object of a real estate mortgage? No. However, stipulations subjecting the mortgage improvements which the mortgager may subsequently acquire, install, or use in connection of the real property already mortgaged belonging to the mortgager is valid. So a real estate mortgage is limited to principal obligations mentioned in the contract, except na lang if it may contain a dragnet or blanket mortgage clause which subsumes all debts, whether past or future. This dragnet clause or blanket mortgage clause will be strictly construed. A mortgage with a dragnet clause makes the mortgage a continuing security, which we already discussed what a continuing security is, and constitutes an exception to the rule that an action to foreclose a mortgage must be limited to the amount mentioned in the mortgage contract. So when the mortgager takes another loan for which another security was given, it could not be inferred that such loan was made in reliance solely on the original security with the dragnet clause, but rather that it's a new security given. Okay. So as a general rule, the mortgager retains possession of the property. He may deliver said property to the mortgagee without alienating the nature of the contract of the mortgage. What the mortgage does is creating an encumbrance over such property. Pero yung ownership ng property remains with the owner. That's why, kung kahit yung mortgage property, it could be alienated by the owner. It could be sold. Yun lang, nakasulat doon, di ba? Pag bibili kayo ng lupa or ng real estate, dapat i-check nyo yung title if merong mga encumbrances. Di ba? The mortgage remains, pero the owner is free to exercise or even transmit the property to someone else. It merely restricts the mortgager's use dispondendi over the property because the mortgager may still sell the property and any stipulation to the contrary is void. So, kahit na say i-dispose pa din ni owner, pero yung mortgage remains. Therefore, if hindi makapagbayad si owner ng say utang niya and mortgage niya yung property niya, yung real property niya, then the mortgagee can still foreclose the property. So a registered mortgage lien is considered inseparable from the property in as much as it is a right in rem. The mortgage creates a real right or a lien which, after being recorded, follows it wherever it goes. A real estate mortgage that is unregistered still binds the parties, as mentioned earlier, to the contract, and it gives the mortgagee the right to demand the execution and even the recording of the mortgage. That is, you record the mortgage to bind the third parties, to bind the world. So, pwede niyang i-demand to na ipa-record sa Registry of Property. But if hindi i-record, still, it's binding. Mortgage extends to the natural accessions, improvements, growing fruits, and rents or incomes not yet received. But then again, this has been repealed by the PPSA, so it's no longer covered. The right to alienate the real estate mortgage credit is the right of the mortgagee to assign its rights under the principal obligation secured. Although the mortgagee does not become the owner of the collateral, it owns the real estate mortgage credit and may alienate the same to a third person. So, para siyang pwede niyang parang i-transfer din yung right niya as a mortgagee. So, pag tin-transfer na yun, yung may right to foreclose is dun sa pinag-transferan niya. Ganon. Pactum de non alienado is prohibited. So, what are these prohibited stipulations? Stipulation forbidding the mortgager from selling the collateral. So, again, as discussed, pwede niyang ibenta. But the real estate mortgage shall subsist. Stipulations forbidding the mortgager from selling the collateral without the consent of the mortgagee. He doesn't even need the consent of the mortgagee. And that in the same vein, the mortgagee can also transfer his rights as a mortgagee, his interest dun sa property as a mortgagee. So, yung alienation and assignment of mortgage credit, it doesn't have to be registered to be valid. So, what is a voluntary mortgage, real estate mortgage, constituted by the will of the owner of the property on which it is created? It's legal if it's required by law to be executed in favor of certain persons. So, persons in whose favor the law establishes a mortgage have no other right than to demand the execution and recording of the document in which the mortgage is formalized. The bondsman who is to be offered in virtue of a provision of law or judicial order shall have qualifications prescribed in Article 2056. So, yung na-discuss na natin ito, integrity, capacity, sufficient property, and in other laws. If the person bound to give a bond should not be able to do so, a pledge or mortgage considered sufficient to cover his obligation shall be admitted in lieu thereof. So, ano naman yung equitable mortgage? It's one which, although lacking the proper formalities of a mortgage, shows the intention of the parties to make the property a security for the debt. So a lien is created by equitable mortgage, ought not to be defeated by requiring compliance with formalities necessary to the validity of a voluntary real estate mortgage. An example is a pacto de retro. The contract shall be presumed to be an equitable mortgage in the following cases: when the price of a sale with the right to repurchase is unusually inadequate, when the vendor remains in possession as lessee or otherwise, when upon or after the expiration of the right to repurchase another instrument extending the period of redemption or granting a new period is executed. So that's when the purchaser retains for himself a part of the purchase price, when the vendor binds himself to pay the taxes of the things sold, in any other case where it may be fairly inferred that the real intention of the parties is that the transaction shall secure the payment of a debt or the performance of any other obligation. And provisions governing equitable mortgage. So there's this principle of indivisibility of mortgage. A mortgage is indivisible, even though the debt may be divided among the successors of interest of the debtor or of the creditor. The mortgage directly and immediately subjects the property upon which it is imposed. It is indivisible, even though the debt may be divided, and such indivisibility is likewise unaffected by the fact that the debtors are not solidarily liable. So the principle of indivisibility presupposes several heirs of the debtor creditor and does not apply in the absence of such a situation. Indivisibility arises only when there is a debtor-creditor relationship. It does not apply to assignees of an accommodation mortgager and not of a debtor-mortgager. Where only a portion of the loan is released, the mortgage becomes enforceable only as to the proportionate value of the loan. So exception to the principle of indivisibility, where there are several things given in mortgage. Each one of them guarantees only a determinate proportion of the credit. The debtor shall have a right to the extinguishment of the pledge or mortgage as the portion of the debt for which each thing is specifically answerable is satisfied. So is recording required? Yes, we already mentioned that. Pero in the absence of recording, it shall still bind the parties, between the parties, even if it's not recorded. So now let's talk about foreclosure. So foreclosure, ito yung ginagawa ng creditor, ng mortgagee. Kapag ka, hindi na niya makuha yung bayad, nag-default yung mortgagor. Kasi nga, diba, security yung mortgage. Isang principal obligation. So foreclosure is the remedy available to the mortgagee by which he subjects the mortgaged property to the satisfaction of the obligation secured by the mortgage by causing its alienation in accordance with the procedures allowed by law. In general, an action for foreclosure of a mortgage is limited to the amount mentioned in the mortgage, except when the mortgage contracts intend to secure future loans or advancements. Mortgage may be used as a continuing security, which secures future advancements and is not discharged by the repayment of the amount in mortgage kasi tuloy-tuloy siyang ginagamit na collateral for future obligations. So what is pactum commissorium? The creditor cannot appropriate the things given by way of mortgage or dispose of them. Any stipulation to the contrary is null and void. Bawal niya gamitin. Yung pwede niyang gawin dun sa property is not to claim it as his own agad after ng non-payment, but to foreclose it first. Yun yung remedy niya, to foreclose it. So elements of pactum commissorium are as follows. There should be a property mortgage by way of security for the payment of the principal obligation, and there should be a stipulation for automatic appropriation by the creditor of the thing mortgaged in case of non-payment of the principal obligation within stipulated period. Again, this is null and void. Bawal nila gawin yun kasi kapag real estate mortgage, dapat i-foreclose muna bago niya i-appropriate as his own. So acceleration clause is allowed. Acceleration clause or stipulation stating that on the occasion of the mortgager's default, the whole sum remaining unpaid automatically becomes due and demandable is allowed. So it could be a judicial foreclosure, it could be an extrajudicial foreclosure. Of course, from the word itself, judicial foreclosure means that the court can intervene in extrajudicial foreclosure just with any extrajudicial judicial terms, diba? Pag sabi mong judicial settlement, extrajudicial settlement. So, out of court, no court intervention pag extrajudicial. So, judicial foreclosure, there is equity of redemption, meaning the period starts from the finality of the judgment until order of confirmation. In extrajudicial foreclosure, it's not equity of redemption, but right of redemption. And the period starts from the date of the registration of certificate of sale. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Ibig sabihin nito, may chance pa during that right of redemption, kung judicial naman, equity of redemption, kung saan pwede pang bilhin ni mortgagor yung property niya, pwede niyang bawiin, pwede niyang quote-unquote redeem, di ba? So judicial foreclosure, decisions are appealable. Extrajudicial foreclosure, decisions are not appealable. In judicial foreclosure, there is no need for an SPA in the contract of mortgage, while in extrajudicial foreclosure, there is a need for SPA in favor of the mortgagee in the contract. So, paano yung process ng judicial foreclosure? First, it may be availed of by bringing an action to the proper court which has jurisdiction. Saan yung venue where the property is situated? If the court finds the complaint to be well-founded, it shall order the mortgagor to pay the amount due with interest and other charges within a period of not less than 90 days, or not less than 90 days and not more than 120 days. So within the 90 to 120 day period from the entry of judgment, the court shall order the mortgagor to pay. The mortgagor may exercise the equity of redemption during this period of grace. Kasi ito yung chance niya na hindi pa i-foreclose yung property. May chance pa siyang bayaran at i-redeem yung property niya, yung equity of redemption. And that would extinguish the mortgage and retain ownership of the collateral by paying the mortgage obligation. So, masisave niya yung property niya during this equity of redemption period of 90 to 120 days from entry of judgment. It is this equity of redemption that is conferred on the mortgagor's successors in interest or on third persons acquiring rights over the collateral from the mortgage subsequent. Although these subsequent or junior lien holders acquire the equity of redemption, this right is strictly subordinate to the superior lien of the first mortgagee. Yung first creditor, yung first creditor na nag-require ng security through mortgage. If the mortgagor fails to pay within this 90 to 120 day period from entry of judgment, the court upon motion shall order the property to be sold to the highest bidder at a public auction. So if foreclosed na, ibibid na. The issuance of a judicial confirmation of sale shall operate to divest the rights of all properties to the action and to vest their rights to the purchaser subject to such right of redemption as may be allowed by law. So isipin nyo, bakit ibebenta? Yun nga yung security, paano na si creditor? Yung proceeds nung sale, pag binenta yung property, mapupunta dun sa creditor. Si creditor pwede siyang mag-participate dun kapag gusto niya yung property. Pero as far as everyone is concerned, gusto lang naman niya ng pera, mababayaran siya. So, ibebenta yon and hindi yung full amount kung magkano siya nabenta, but only the amount of nautang. Yun lang yung ibibigay dun sa mortgagee. A foreclosure sale is not complete until it is confirmed. Thus, after the foreclosure sale, but before confirmation, the court may grant the judgment debtor or mortgagor the equity of redemption. Before the confirmation, the court retains control of the proceedings. So, So a certified copy of the final order of the court confirming the sale shall be registered in the registry of deeds. If no right of redemption exists, the certificate of title in the name of the mortgagor shall be cancelled and a new one issued in the name of the purchaser. If a right of redemption exists, the certificate of sale and the order confirming the sale shall also be registered. So proceeds of the sale shall be applied to the payment of the cost of the sale, amount due to the mortgagee, claims of junior encumbrances or persons holding subsequent mortgages in order of their priority, and the balance shall be paid to the mortgagor, ibabalik sa kanya, his agent, or the person entitled to it. Sheriff's certificate is executed, acknowledged, and recorded to complete the foreclosure. So you will think, bakit ang daming babayaran? Kaya nga, hindi pwede nga appropriate ni mortgagee yung property kasi pwede yung property na mortgage, mas malaki yung value kaysa dun sa inutang. So, kung ano lang yung extent ng utang, yun lang yung babayaran. Pero of course, yung order niyan is, yung una, babayaran yung costs of the sale. After mabayaran ng cost of the sale, dun na babayaran yung mortgagee. If may sobra pa, then if meron pang other mortgages over the property or lien over the property, then yun. Pero mauna yung primary mortgagee. Okay, sheriff certificate executed, acknowledged, and recorded to complete the foreclosure. So, a judicial foreclosure proceeding is quasi in rem, may be acquired through publication. Foreclosure is only the result or incident of the failure to pay debt and survives the death of a mortgagor. So now let's go to extrajudicial foreclosure. A real estate mortgage may be extrajudicially foreclosed only if there is a special power inserted or attached to the document in which the real estate mortgage appears, and only in accordance with the provisions of Act number 3135. So this, what does this Act number 3135 say? Applies to mortgages where special authority to foreclose is granted to the mortgagee. Authority is not extinguished by death of the mortgagor or mortgagee. This is an agency coupled with interest. Public sale should not be made after proper notice to the public. Otherwise, it is a jurisdictional defect which could render the sale voidable. So, dapat should be made after proper notice to the public lang. Para mas maraming makapag-participate. Hindi luto ba yung foreclosure? General rules, statutory provisions governing the posting of notice must be strictly complied with, and even slight deviations will invalidate the notice. Exception, if the objectives are attained, immaterial errors and mistakes may not affect the sufficiency of the notice. Republication of the notice of sale is necessary for the validity of the postponed extrajudicial sale. There is no need to notify the mortgagor where there is no contractual stipulation, therefore. What does proper notice consist of? Posting of notice in 3 public places, publication in newspaper of general circulation. Ganun naman lagi. Purpose of notice is to obtain the best bid for the foreclosed property and to inform the public of the nature and condition of the collateral, the time, place, and terms of the sale. Baka kasi pag walang nag-participate, edi ang baba ng bid, diba? The foreclosure sale shall be made at the public auction through sealed bids within the province in which the property to be sold is situated. Surplus proceeds of foreclosure sale shall belong to, this was mentioned earlier, same as judicial foreclosure, to the mortgagor, of course. The clerk of court shall issue and sign certificate of sale. The debtor, who must be a natural person, his successors in interest, or any junior encumbrancer, has the right to redeem the property sold within 1 year from and after the date of sale. So, pansin nyo, sa judicial foreclosure, walang ganito. If the mortgagee is a bank, quasi-bank, or trust entity, and the debtor is a juridical person, then there is no right of redemption. However, juridical mortgagors may redeem the property before the registration of the TCT to the buyer, which is similar to equity of redemption. the TCT must be registered within 3 months after the foreclosure. The mortgagor can only legally transfer the right to redeem and the use of the property during the period of redemption because ownership of the collateral is retained by the mortgagor until the expiration of such period. During the redemption period, the purchaser may petition the land registration court to give him possession of the property, furnishing a bond in the amount equivalent to the use of the property for a period of 12 months. Upon approval of the bond, the court shall issue a writ of possession. Remedy of a party aggrieved by foreclosure is a petition to set aside sale and cancellation of writ of possession. However, if the mortgagee is a bank, the mortgagor is required to post a bond equal to the value of the mortgagee's claim. If no redemption is made within 1 year from the date of registration from the certificate of sale, the purchaser is entitled to the conveyance and possession of the property. So as a general rule, upon consolidation of ownership, possession of the property shall be given to the purchaser or last redemptioner as a matter of right. Exceptions: if a third party is actually holding or possessing the property, the mortgagor filed a separate action to invalidate the auction sale because of the unusually low price paid therein, the mortgagee failed to deliver the surplus from the proceeds of the foreclosure sale. So, nature and power of foreclosure by extrajudicial sale, it's conferred to the mortgagee's protection and ancillary stipulation, a prerogative of the mortgagee. Foreclosure retroacts to the date of the registration of the mortgage. Right to surplus or deficiency. So the mortgagor is entitled to the surplus, if any, after payment of the proceeds of sale. The mortgagee naman, kapag kakulang, mas malaki yung utang pa din dun sa proceeds of the sale, then the mortgagee is entitled to recover the deficiency. Mapa-judicial or extrajudicial. Ay, wait lang. Okay, tama. If patay na yung mortgagor, kapag may deficiency pa rin, pwedeng kunin sa estate kapag judicial foreclosure. Pero kapag extrajudicial foreclosure, yung deficiency, hindi na pwedeng kunin dun sa estate. Very important. If the deficiency is embodied in a judgment, it is referred to as a deficiency judgment. Action for recovery of deficiency may be filed even during the redemption period. Action to recover prescribes after 10 years from the time the right of action accrues. So, kailan yung right of action? Kapag na yung foreclosure sale, kapag nabigay na sa kanya yung funds pero kulang, deficiency. Else to discuss. Waiver of security by the creditor? Yes. Mortgagee may waive his right to foreclose. Pero kapag winive na yung right to foreclose niya, meron pa rin siyang right for personal action for recovery of the indebtedness. Pwede pa rin niyang singilin. However, alternative yung exercise ng remedies na to. Pag ayaw niya i-foreclose, then, yun na yung action niya. Hindi niya pwedeng i-foreclose na, tapos, file pa siya ng civil action for the payment. Hindi pwede, isa-isa lang. Redemption, we already discussed. Basta redemption, yung equity of redemption. Tama ba? Equity of redemption yung tawag sa extrajudicial. A right of redemption pala. Basta 1 year from the registration of TCT for natural persons, pwede pa yung redemption. Kapag juridical persons, 3 months. after foreclosure. Payment of purchase price of the collateral involved plus 1% interest per month. So, equity of redemption, ito yung sa judicial. Yung 1 year right of redemption sa extrajudicial yan. So, that's it for real estate mortgage. The last topic for CredTrans would be PPSA. So, happy aral, bye!